let's try it from a different position, in that on the 12th fret. So there are 7 notes, but with the 5 incidental notes, of which F isn't. I said in the first video, this is part 3 now. So this is, it's really a false incidental, which I don't even think is counted in music, but we're going to count it because it's helpful. So this is on the 1st string, the E string, at the 12th fret, because a classical guitar only has 12 frets until the body starts. And that's an E note as well, and it's the same with each string: A note, D note, G note, B note, and E note. So they're not the harmonics, they're the actual notes. They do resonate some harmonic sound, but that's just incidental. Right, so why did we start at this point now? Well, we were talking in the second video, the latest video, of the path, the E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. It's an octave, so the same path, E, F, G, A, 12, 13, 14, 16, it's the same path, E, F, G, A, same path, same up here, E, F, G, A. Like to play it, it's awkward, but I'm demonstrating the path. Now, if we find the E note on the A string, because there has to be an E note on the A string, because there's a path A, A sharp, B, C. B is like E in that it has no incidental, or again it's a false incidental because it's a natural note, the note of C, which has a sharp, which is a flat, just to make it easier. The C sharp is a D flat, so D would be the next note. So when we follow the path, A, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, what would the next note have to be? Well, it'd have to be the next string, or so it's open on the 4th, and the 5th, it's on the 5th string, it's at the 5th fret, and it's the same with the D string and the next string down, which is the G, but it's not the same with the G and the B. It's actually at the 4th, and that's don't know, just for some random reason, just seems to be there. I think it's because of the measure of the incidentals, the sharps and flats. When it starts on the B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, it follows a path where it lands on the E note at the 5th fret, but on the G, it's G, G sharp, A, A sharp, B. So we're only at the 4th fret there, and we're already, whereas with all the others we'd have to be on the 5th fret to be playing the next guitar string sound or note. So we're learning the layout of the neck, the path of the neck, because there are other modes to learn. And these other modes make it easier to maneuver around or at least understand the reasons why we're maneuvering around in the ways that we may do, and the path that we follow for the notes that we're playing. So with Spanish music in particular, in the flamenco genre, which is largely the area that we'll be delving in, we'll do some classical, but mainly it'll be to contrast the flamenco. And it's not necessarily the flamenco of popular commercial, you know, what people attune to what flamenco is. It's a new genre of flamenco called solo guitar. It's been around since about the 50s, and it's geared towards specifically an understanding for solo guitarists in order to give them more fruits to choose from the fruit tree of music. So there are determinations about in that particular shape, we're not using the E Phrygian, we're using the A minor, not the A minor, we're using the E major scale, which is not the C major scale. It's a different, it's an A major mode, an A Phrygian, I think, or an A Aeolian. I'll get to that though, but just for the time being, understand that we're not in Phrygian, and that'll give you some contrast to understand why the notes that we play give us this sound. And that's Alegria, so that's in like a joyful tone. In A. See what I mean? So that's a different path. So the path that we're playing, there's our A note on the E string, A flat, which is also a G sharp. So we couldn't play that in E Phrygian. Yeah, we couldn't. So there are some notes that are in there, the open and the fifth, but the path is different, so it gives us a different sound. Yeah. So it's a nice way to understand that the difference between the paths give you the different tones, and that we can call these paths modes, because that's what they're called in music. But you know, when we follow them, it follows a certain path, and those paths can be transposed either as we use the capo, or they can be interchanged. So it's a bit more fascinating in that there's an actual structure of pathology that we can follow wherever we are on the guitar. It sort of opens up a different area of versatility that we may not find in scales per se. Like we can add blue notes in, or we can play with two scales or something, but with the modes, you sort of understand it in degrees of mode. Anyway, it's right on 10. Hope that's helpful. See you in the next.